The Way You Do Anything is the Way You Do Everything by Suzanne Evans. Commitment is simply the ability to do something and avoid doing nothing at all costs. I have had people tell me throughout my entire life that I overwhelm them. I decide too fast, and they are trying to catch up. I certainly don't try to do this, but I will say I have no regrets. This is how I approach life, and it's worked out well for me. I've made tons of mistakes, but I have no regrets. You can't commit to anything until you decide to do something, take an action, or make a move. The following explanation appeared in the March 2005 Journal of Neuroscience report, Decision Making in Leeches. Animals react to changes in the environment by responding with an appropriate behavior. In other words, animals react quickly, much more so than humans. If you have a family pet, watch it. Animals never stay in indecision. Scared, they fight or flee. Excited, they approach or steal. If you're going to live out your dreams, you have to make four decisions. One, to make a plan and not worry yet about exactly how to carry it out. Two, to tell the scared side of you to shut the hell up on a daily basis. Three, to be willing to look like a fool. Four, to not make or accept excuses. Be honest for a moment. What is your biggest struggle right now? What is the action or step that is just too scary for you to take? What is your got to get some guts moment that you can actually feel physically? It is likely your biggest business challenge. Maybe it's making money, losing money, a spouse, a child, your weight, your health, your environment, a difficult choice. Whatever your burden is, focus on it. No matter how painful or seemingly unfair, zero in. Ask yourself, how bad do you really want the thing this obstacle is keeping you from getting? It's not going to get less scary or easier. In fact, the longer you wait, the scarier it gets. When you do the gutsy things in business, it always pays off. When you do your best, people notice. Here's a confession that might not surprise you much. I like attention. And I noticed early in life, when you do your best, when you go beyond 100%, are full of guts, people notice. When people notice, you get attention. When you get attention, you get leverage. And leverage, my friends, is extremely powerful. I've always tried to close my eyes and take the plunge, even perhaps especially when the situation not certain is safe. I can frustrate staff, even spouses, in my tenacity to do something over and over in order to get it right. I typically outwork my team, which guarantees one very important thing. When I do my best, everyone around me wants to do their best. When I take risks, others want to take risks. Taking risks while doing your best is money in the bank, and doing your best shows up in many ways: physical, mental, time, ethic, value, giving back, creativity, teamwork, courage. Do you have the guts to sacrifice some security? I am certain I chose this life, this path in this world. It wasn't handed to me. With that choice comes responsibility to my best so others can be their best. Are you doing your best? Are you taking risks? I'll share something with you that I mean with as much sincerity as I can muster. If my business went belly up, I'd be okay. You know why? I still have that tablecloth and sign I used at Whole Foods, and I still have guts. Inspirational author Mike Dooley, who puts out a daily newsletter entitled Notes from the Universe, sent the following amazing and eye-opening reminder a few years ago. Yesterday, I watched a small bird flying very fast disappear into the canopy of an oak tree. So dense were its leaves that it was impossible to see what happened next, though I can tell you it remained inside. I wondered how the little bird found its opening through the leaves at such a speed and then managed to gently align its fragile body on the branch it chose to land upon, all within a fraction of a second. Not to mention the impossible to imagine flying maneuvers required: the banking, curling, vertical and horizontal stabilization, the deceleration and landing. Memory, calculation, not in that tiny brain. Instinct, maybe, but how does instinct know which way the branches of a tree have grown when no two are the same? Suzanne, that little bird, just knew. It had faith, despite not being able to see how things would work out, that if and only if it stayed the course, the details would be taken care of, that an opening would appear and a twig would be found. In fact, had she slowed down enough to carefully and logically inspect the tree first, the prudent thing to do, she would have lost her lift and fall to the ground. It's kind of like reaching for your dreams. Neither memory nor calculating nor instincts are the deciding factor, but faith coupled with action. I invite you to stop white knuckling and worrying about all knowing for a while. Surrender to faith. The moment you fail or fear, you start forcing it big time. You start overworking, pushing, and convincing people instead of making your business a customer-based service. So often we get fixed on how the money is coming in, and it blinds us to other opportunities. Be aware and consider what Napoleon Hill advises in his book, Think and Grow Rich. Usually the money and opportunity will appear in the form of temporary defeat. That's not luck or coincidence. That is faith. Let me say it again, just for good measure. It's not about luck. It's about faith. How much faith do you have in this moment? Not just necessarily in yourself or your business, but just faith in general. Faith is tested when things get hard, when we're afraid, and when our perfectly laid plans don't work out so perfectly. But faith doesn't depend on things going as planned. True faith is continued belief in the face of adversity. It's what you know you have when you have every single reason in the world to have no faith, especially in business. And it is in these moments that you need to hold on to it most tightly. Here's how. 1, be clear about what you want. 2, stop being realistic. 3, stop looking for the results. 4, know that our faith will be constantly tested. No business was ever built on uncertainty, and no leader ever magically appeared out of doubt. Faith is a full-time job. Day one on the job is to surrender. Don't be surprised that most financial success comes from the most unlikely places. That's just your paycheck from the job of faith. Chapter 7, homework. 1, faith versus practicality. Are you practical about what it takes to be successful? Do you have a plan to turn your beliefs into reality? Do you understand the real difference between having a vision for your business and taking action to make it real? Do you understand that hope is not a business plan? 2, practical support. Who do you turn to that gets it when it comes to your business? Come to think about it. Do you turn to anyone, or you just try it alone? Try to go it alone. How's that working out for you? 3, your practical to-do list. What 3 things would you like to get done this week that would make a difference in your business? List them here. Now, how can you keep them front and center so that you have a practical plan to get them done? Dream versus reality. Just remember, the reason most people don't bring their dreams to life is that they're not willing to start at a time when it seems impossible in order to get to a place where they could actually happen. It's time for you to take 3 practical actions. After you answer the following questions, think about the next 3 steps. You'll be amazed at how quickly you will make progress. Let's talk about making your dreams real. First, list one of your big dreams that deep in your heart you would like to believe is possible, but you have some doubts about it. It's okay if it's big. Next, list 3 practical actions that could put you on the path toward making it a reality. 5, drama queens and kings. Do you crave drama? What drama are you taking part in that keeps you from the practical actions that lead to success? 6, perfectionism makes you feel important. Are you trying to be perfect? Is it keeping you from making any progress? What might happen if you let go of perfectionism and simply focus on your priorities? How much more could you get done? HOs and BOs, honest time. Are you a hobbyist owner or a business owner? List the reasons why. If you're an HO, what practical steps can you take to earn your BO badge? You each have your own test. It usually appears like a fear, a threat, a stumble, a complaint, an unexpected event, or bad news. And here's the solution. Treat them just as that, a test. The truth is that everything is a lesson waiting to be learned. There is no good, there is no bad, there is only what is. Because we have been raised to believe tests are pass or fail, we usually become overwhelmed and scared when faced with them. The fact of the matter is a test is there for us to grow, not to get it right or wrong. As the great Ben Zander said in his book, The Art of Possibility, just look at it and say, fascinating, and take your next step from that place. You can't take everything that shows up in your business from a realistic or practical point of view. My friend with the cancer diagnosis saw her test as absolute. She felt she had to approach her future completely practically. I'm dying. This is hard. I'll wait and see how it plays out. Being practical can help you live longer, but I think not being practical can save your life. It doesn't really matter what you're fighting. Cancer, shyness, fear, money, wellness, love, or loss, the same applies. The monsters will always be present. How can we speak to the monsters? How we speak to the monsters will determine our outcomes and our journey. Change the rules. You have some, I have some, we all do. The money has to be made in this way. I have to do this before that. I only invest this. I better check with this person before making that decision. Almost every time I have made big money, I had changed the rules, shook it up and did things differently. I was completely impractical because frankly, the practical shit just wasn't working. Take 45 seconds and list the rules you've been living by. Then take a look and consider whether they're serving you well or holding you back. There is something magical about not being practical. It can create momentum. Remember the last time you took a vacation? Chances are you got a lot more done the day before you left than you had in the previous weeks before. Chapter 8, homework, your rule book. Got rules? Good. Let's list them out. Come on, you know you have them. They are the rules you live by. 2, be practically impractical. Have you been impractical in your path towards success? Have you ever broken the rules of taking action that others told you not to? 3, rules others live by. Name the rules other people you know seem to live by. Do you unconsciously follow them? 4, taking bad advice. Are you heeding bad advice? Do you let anyone and everyone influence you, or do you only listen to a group of selective few? What might happen if you became more discerning in who you actually listen to? You know the saying about money being the root of all evil, but actually the opposite is true. The lack of money is the root of all evil. I am no stock market expert, and I solely do not claim to be, but this I know for sure. To make or lose money in the market, you have to first invest in the market. Like the saying goes, you have to be in it to win it. So take a moment and think about this. Seriously, grab a pen and paper. How much do you spend on your car every year? Include payments, insurance, tune-ups, gas, etc. Okay, got that number? Take a long look at it. If you're spending a similar amount or less on your business, take a pause. How do we expect to have a thriving company that helps people if you spend more on your car than on your business? It's crazy. Remember the first time I figured this out, it was an eye-opener. I quickly realized that if I did not treat my business, coaching, programs, workshops, and seminars as investments in me, my future, and those I want to serve, then my business would never grow. The first year, I applied this idea of making investments in myself to via coaching programs and building a team. My income doubled. And the best part, the number of people I was serving more than quadrupled. When we invest in ourselves, we build a portfolio for success. Many people have asked me how to determine the best investment for their business. I can't provide a cut and dried answer because every company has so many variables at play, because there are some things that consistently deliver results. Marketing programs and consulting where you get a specific plan. Opportunities where you will be in front of your ideal clients. The right team members to grow the business in the right areas. Programs where you receive mentoring from people who are where you want to be. Workshops and events that keep you connected and motivated. There is no convenient time or place to become successful. I built my business with this understanding. I did this by going to the S, because it does not come to you, knock on the door, and deliver payday. As Thomas Edison said, opportunity is missed by most people because it's dressed in overalls and it looks like work. So here's the big idea. I'm going to lay it out fast and dirty. If you can get these rules about money right, you can make millions. Here are all the places not to be cheap so you don't attract cheap. 1, don't get cheap help. Do I really have to say anything else? It seems obvious. It's natural to want to save money here and there, but you get what you pay for. Everything. Ever think, if this coach is so good, why do they charge so little? You should. I know I do. 2, don't get cheap business cards. 3, don't go networking or speaking in cheap clothes. 4, don't be cheap with your resources. 5, don't be cheap with your time. Business takes effort. When I hear people say they don't want to work hard, I'm clear on their best path to get a job working for someone else. Business takes hustle. If you love what you do, it won't feel like work. If you're cheap with your time, your results will reflect that. 6, find a rich mentor. Deliver rich resources and results. If you invest richly in your business, you will reap rich rewards. Money commands respect. Money deserves attention. Money responds to love. I love to talk about money. I particularly love to talk about the impact money can have on people, the planet, and its ability to foster change. Most of you are reading this because you want to make more money and you want to make a difference. Making a difference starts with your behavior, but it launches from how you respect money. Money is energy. The greater respect you have for it, the more vibrantly that energy returns to you. The rules for prosperity are simple. 1, honor commitments. When you agree to pay for a service, product, program, or item, follow through. Pay your bills on time if you expect others to pay you. 2, take 100% responsibility. When shit happens, and it will, take 100% responsibility for your finances and communicate with people. People that show up and are willing will always work problems out. 3, treat your business like a business. Alley Financial, Ford Motor Credit, and Capital One did not let people dishonor their obligations, so why would you? 4, hold the space. My business requires people to meet their obligations and commitments. We always work with willing and responsive people, but in cases that we don't, we have legal standard operating procedures. In other words, we treat our business like a real business because it is. 5, pass your money on. Everyone talks about charitable giving, but I'm talking about non-charitable. How much do you tip? Do you spread the wealth? Do you know that giving brings you even more? 6, love your money. Watch it. Keep an eye on it. Make sure it has a house that takes care of it and brings more of it to you. Track and protect your money. 7, don't play dumb. Money likes and is attracted to smart people. It likes you to know where it is, how it behaves, and where it goes. 8, do the hard stuff. Talk to clients and customers about their bills, what they owe, and give them the truth about money. When you shy away from money issues with your clients, you shy away from abundance. Money is not the most important thing in the world, but it touches everything that is. If you aren't paying your bill to holding the space for your clients to pay theirs, you are out of money alignment. Remember, money commands respect. Money deserves attention. Money responds to love, and money doesn't want you to wait until the time is right. People often tell me that they're waiting to start their business in one of my programs or to make a change until when the time is right or when they have the money to do it. Without being disrespectful, that kind of response is laughable to me for a few reasons. First, it's ridiculous to believe that we actually are in that much control and that money will somehow magically fall into our laps if we wait long enough and keep doing what we've been doing. Second, it means you believe that anything more than just a delay in your destiny is out of integrity. And third, if you have thought of it, even for a nanosecond, then the time is now. There is no way to ever find enough money to launch. Even the big software guys that launch with millions would prefer to wait. Chapter 9, homework. 1, spending habits. I asked you to calculate how much you spent on your car versus your business. Are you seriously not investing in your business? 2, the best investments. Based on where your business is, list the top 3 investments you need to make and why. Get honest. What will help you grow faster? Where have you been cheap in an attempt to save money, even if it is costing you in the long run? 3, you get what you pay for, right? Where are you being cheap in your business? Come on, you know where you are. Let's just get this out of the way and start being honest. 4, money commands respect. Do you respect your money? Do you respect others? Do you honor your commitments regarding money? Do you pay on time? Do you know that the way you treat money is a direct reflection of how you treat your clients and opportunities? It's true. 5, waiting for the right time. Are you waiting for the right moment? 6, budgeting. Some important questions about your budget. Do you have one? Do you pay yourself first? Do you know where your money goes? 7, your business is your livelihood. Always remember that by definition, business is the practice of making one's living by engaging in commerce. There's no question here. I just wanted to reinforce the importance of this definition. 8, tomatoes and avocados. Are you planting solely short-term yields or planning for the long term? Avocados. List which investments are which and why you are making them part of your business. Yes, but. Yes, but will keep you stuck in your excuses around time, money, and knowledge. Just remove this phrase from your vocabulary. I have my private clients take improv class because the number 1 rule of improv is yes. Start changing the yes, but to yes, and. Reframe. Anything worth doing is worth doing poorly to start with. 2, I quit. This is always the easiest and what we perceive to be the least painful answer. It can be a quick solution after all, but guess what? Nothing changes when we quit. Reframe. I get exactly what I need when I need it. Is quitting going to move me closer to my dreams? 3, I didn't get what I needed. Blame is evil. I know. I did it for years. It makes us feel better about something when it isn't our fault. Reframe. I am 100% responsible for everything that happens to me, good, bad, or in between. 4, there isn't enough time, money, resources, help. When we are working from a lack of anything, we simply get more of the same. Reframe. Everything I need is already present and there's more than enough. 5, that hurt my feelings. Feelings are choices. When we choose hurt and negativity, we then send that energy out in a ripple effect through the world. Reframe. I choose how I feel about everything. No one can make me feel anything. That is my choice. If I'm offended, the offense is within me. 6, I'm not listening. Even people who are working with coaches or in programs are not always willing to really do what is required. Reframe. I have chosen this person or this path for a reason, and I'm willing to do what is required, even if I don't understand how right now, and even if it might make me wrong. Here are 5 must-haves to make sure your business run on time. 1, honor your commitments. 2, set an example. I read a great anonymous quote the other day. Your sermon is best told by your life and not your lips. Make certain you are a model for your business and services. Your appearance, presence, energy, and language all represent you and everything you offer. 3, run your business like a business. Best practices apply no matter what stage you're in. You do not avoid policies, efficiencies, and procedures because your business is small and just starting out. To truly help and support, you run your business clean and clear. Establish policies, have them in writing, and make sure your team and clients understand them. 4, have a mentor. You can save a ton of time when you have a seasoned person to go to for guidance and support. Someone who has already failed, flipped, or flopped at what you are doing can help you because you can learn from their mistakes and their successes. As one of my mentors always said, business is messy. It can be infinitely valuable to have someone to use as a sounding board, to ask and gain advice from so you can leverage your best interest in business growth. 5, be flexible. Change is good. It's not only easy and not always comfortable, but it means something is shifting. Being uncomfortable in your business and stretching yourself beyond the comfort zone means you are not in hobby mode. 6, follow up. Money, business, and service is in the follow-up, not just one time, but multiple repeated follow-ups. Save yourself the time of waiting and be ready in follow-up mode. Getting a no is as powerful as getting a yes. When you have an answer, we gain time. Whether it's a yes or a no, you're able to move on. Be bold in your follow-up by asking specifically for what you want. This is where most people fail and lose time. If you have an immediate and strong call to action that saves you and the customer valuable time, you'll be ahead of the game. Here's an example. When I'm filling a group or new program, I make the following touches after the program. Send the recording of my offer if it's an online program. Offer a private session for discussion. Offer last chance for that session. Offer last chance to sign up for the program. Personally email people who were interested. Why do you have to do everything? Why not do just a little something? Choose one small task and go from there. I firmly believe that action breeds action. And when I first started my business, this is what I live by. Do one thing a day. It can be huge or it can be tiny, but do one thing. I revisited that and committed to doing one small thing. And what do you know, it snowballed. I got a lesson done, wrote a marketing plan for a new business for which I am doing marketing consulting, updated a talk, and rewrote some copy. We can often get obsessed with all we have to do in our life and in our business. How about today you do just a little and see where that takes you? I'm reminded daily that if this were easy, everyone would do it. The list and the to-dos a long and winding road. Phone calls, the late night emails, the team member who quit, the new hire interviews. Disastrous distractions. What's distracting you? What if you just eliminated it, changed it, or delegated it? Running your business like a business. Do you have policies and procedures in place to support you? How's your follow-up? How many times do you ask for the sale? Do you give up before the yes? Do you get upset about the no? Do you know that it's better to get a no than a maybe? Better to let them make a decision and move on. Multitasking is evil. Do you try to do multiple things at once, believing it will save you time? Does it? Would you be better served focusing on one task at a time with a focused approach? How might that actually save you time? I get it. Misery loves company. When you aren't getting the results you want, you would rather it be someone else's fault. It's preferable to blame something outside of yourself instead of your own inaction or cycle of quitting. We want to feel like we are a part of something bigger. So when you have that spouse, friend, or colleague telling you why something is not or will not work for you, ask these questions. Is this individual taking 100% responsibility for himself? Am I taking 100% responsibility for myself? If quitting were not even an option, what would my next step be? How does this gossip help me? How can I support this person? People in deep pain recruit others to fail or quit with them. Then determine where this person is in the cycle of quitting. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhale. Again. Now ask yourself, what do you want your life to look like? What is most important to you? What's on your to-do before you die list? All of ours will be different. Mine lists travel, food, family, volunteering, and being near the water. Write yours down. Now, every 3 to 4 months, I want you to block out a minimum of 5 to 7 days. Yep, you heard me, to live that dream. Go ahead. It's an assignment. Chapter 15, homework. Love the one you're with. Do you love your business? Why? What do you actually love about it? Do you hate your business? If so, do you really hate it, or are you just in a lull? What would make you fall in love again? 2, be more than your business. I asked earlier for you to list all the ways that you are more than your business. Get that list. I'm not asking you to do anything else, but it's so damn important. I want to make sure you don't gloss that over. 3, who can you help today? List 3 to 5 people you can show a little love today. Without asking anything in return, you'll be surprised at the results. 4, love who you are. Do you like yourself? Do you care what others think? Are you content with who you are? I'm not asking about where you are in life, but who you are as a person. 5, how do you stand out? What makes you different? Do you need people to love you? What do you tolerate? What don't you tolerate? What will you never do?